morning and welcome to our very first edition of Rise with BTV. My name is Tsigizo Vilagazi and I will be your morning anchor as my team and I usher you into this new and exciting season that has risen on our shores.
Good morning, viewers, and my topic for this morning is just to talk about what happens after you die. Now, it's not a morbid story, it's not something very depressing, but the reality about it is once you die, there's all the messages going around that you've passed on. And people congregate at your house thereafter, passing on their condolences and messages of sympathy, and eventually the funeral takes place. And people also start to just keep crying and they, embracing the family members. And a few days later, everyone goes back to work. Your children have gone back to work because the period of leave has expired. And your partner, a month later, will be watching a comedy on TikTok or on Netflix and has a giggle or two. 3 months later, your documents are finalized. Your will is read out, and not many people are actually remembering you. Eventually, it goes down to 1 year where people congregate again to celebrate your life after 1 year, and it's quite a massive celebration, and suddenly people remember you again. And then 6 months down the line after that, very few people remember you. And eventually, you are remembered by photographs and dates of special events in your life and your family's life. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is, whose life did you live all these years? Did you live your life? Did you live your life by your standards and your way of thinking and believing in what you deserved in life? Or did you live your life by other people setting boundaries and conditions for you to live by? Did you live a life wearing all those masks for all those years and never got a chance to actually take them off and be who you are, your authentic self? My message this morning, ladies and gentlemen, is don't wait for that time because it's never going to help you because you'll be gone. Right now, take the mask down. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. Don't be hard on yourself for what you've gone through. And start living a life that brings out your authenticity. Your true identity is what matters, ladies and gentlemen. And that's my message for this morning. Get rid of the masks, get rid of the expectations that people have of you, and stop wondering and worrying about what people think about you. Because in 18 months' time after you've gone, they've literally forgotten everything about you. So live a life of value, live a life fulfilling your potential and what your purpose is on earth. Thank you.
Oftentimes, our own actions can leave us on the fence about whether we were right or wrong. In the following segment, you, as our viewers, will help us gauge which side of the fence the following individuals sit on. Let's head on over to the corner to see what situation we have at hand today. Welcome to the corner. My wedding was September 21st, 2021. We had a fairly decent-sized wedding. My cousin, on my stepdad's side, were not close whatsoever, and her boyfriend had only been dating not even 6 months at this point. I've met the guy once before my wedding, and he never shows up to any family functions. We're all having a great time at my wedding. My husband and I are mingling with guests while everyone dances. And then the next thing I know is my cousin's boyfriend asks the DJ for his mic and goes to the center of the dance floor saying he has an announcement to make and calls my cousin over. So I rush over and say, no one is getting engaged during my special day, especially during my reception. You can get engaged later tonight, but not right now. It's my day, thank you for understanding. And I go and walk away. My cousin starts puffing, and my aunt, her mom, starts yelling at me, calling me an entitled brat. It causes a huge fight, and they all end up leaving. My mom, stepdad, dad, and stepmom are all on my side, and we're even angry that they think it's okay to do that during my wedding, that they all paid for. My nana, who is my stepdad's mom, says I was wrong and told me to apologize and call them over and allow him to propose. Needless to say, it didn't happen. So flash forward to Christmas. It was terrible. My stepdad's entire side were rude and ignoring my husband and I. And of course, guess what happens? My cousin and her now fiance announced their wedding date, September 21st, 2022. I am beyond angry at this point, and I'm so not planning to go. It's my anniversary. My family is upset that they would do that to anger me for not allowing them to get engaged during my reception. My cousin says that they chose to get married on their 1-year engagement anniversary. Either way, regardless of the real reason, I'm still upset. Of course, my nana is super excited. So BTV, was I wrong for not allowing them to get engaged during my wedding reception? And am I wrong for not attending the wedding on my 1-year anniversary? Sunny days have begun, so let's head over to the Living Earth Garden at Fairview Estates and see what tricks Lou has to share with us in light of this new season.
Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to start a veggie garden. I figured with the food scarcity being such an issue, we'd plant some spinach and a little bit of celery today. I went through to Zululand Nursery and picked up a bunch of seedlings. They're quite nice because you can get little individual ones and you don't have to buy a whole tray of 6 if you're just getting started and you only maybe have a small section in the garden that you're wanting to plant. So first and foremost, you need to make sure that your garden is composted. So compost is the fuel that's going to allow these little seedlings to take off and to produce beautiful vegetables for you. So if you've got your own compost pile at home, that's obviously first prize. You can use your food scraps and your garden waste and make a little compost box at the end of your garden. If you don't have a garden, you can buy a one that fits quite nicely onto kitchen counters. Otherwise, we have weed-free compost available, which I'm going to use, make it easy for you. Okay, so we're going to just pour it over the area that we're going to work with. Give it a nice, good, healthy dose because the soil looks like it could do with it. And because we're planting seedlings, we're going to work it into the ground. There is a lot of thought at the moment, a change in trend that we don't want to disturb the soil biology too much because there's like a social network going on under the ground, and if we turn the soil too much, then we're going to disturb it. But we want to now work this compost into the ground because it's a bit too strong for the seedlings if you're just planting it on its own. So let's just turn that in. Okay, so if you were planting a tree or if you bought a more developed shrub, that come in those little black plastic bags. Then you can just dig a hole, pour your compost in and put the plant straight in. But because we're dealing with seedlings here, they're a little bit more sensitive. So the compost can be a little bit nutrient rich. So we just turn it into the soil, mixing it a little bit more. I feel like I'm about to bake a cake. Okay. And then you make your little space, which quite happily is the size of my spade. And then I hold the spade aside and I'm going to grab me a little spinach here. I plump it into the hole and then scoop some of the good compost mixed soil around it and then just tuck it down. So you don't want to compact it too much. You want your soil to be loose so that the roots can release and grow into it and bed themselves down, but you don't want him hanging about loosely because then when you water it, he might flop over. So spacing it nicely. Obviously you're going to have to do a little bit of research depending on what you're planting to know how far apart they must be planted. Grab another one and plop it in. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is build up around here, making a little wall, because the next step is to put a little bit of water. So my rule, and it's purely on experience, I will water for the first week. Every day I'll put a bit of water down, and thereafter I want the plant now to start sending its roots down, looking for water itself. I don't want it to be babied and get lazy. It needs to actually try and look for the water on its own. But just in the beginning, we give it a bit of a helping hand, and that little well that I've created stops the water from just running away. And there we go. And if you're like me, you might forget to come back every day. It's okay, but just try and remember for the first week, giving it its water, and then within a couple of weeks, you'll be able to harvest some spinach leaves.
Simple was that? All thanks to Lou. So Lou, I see you've got a bag of living earth compost in as well as some potting sand. What goes into the bag of compost that you were using?
So our compost is made from garden organics. So all of the waste that comes out of your garden goes to Dolphin Coast and then comes through to us, and then we make long piles of compost, or windrows we call them. And we also have food waste and liquid waste gets turned over, in the course of 4 to 6 months, beautiful compost comes out. So nature does her thing. It's that easy on our side. A little bit more involved if you're at home. Yeah. The potting soil we mix with bark, because some plants, like I said, are they're a little bit too sensitive for the compost on their own. And sometimes you don't have the luxury of a beautiful big garden, right? And you still want to have your own herbs or microgreens or whatever in your flat. So then you can get a pot and you can put the potting soil in, and then you still have the enjoyment out of growing your own mini scale vegetables at home.
How interesting is that our trash will actually go back into the earth and do a full cycle again and produce more for us. That is just amazing to learn, and I find that absolutely fascinating. I look forward to trying to start my own garden in my flat, of course, with some potting soil and some compost. Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure. Enjoy.
Family is the support you'll never have to pay for, because come rain or shine, they will be there to cheer you on during all of your life goals. Shan Forey's journey through Mrs. South Africa has been testament to this. Let's hear more from the Queen herself.
With me in the VIP lounge today, we've got Shan Fourie, the beautiful, gorgeous Shan Fourie. Shan, welcome.
Thank you so much, Meg. It's always so nice to be with you.
Shan, I'm first going to ask you to just give me, all the viewers, a little bit of an introduction.
Okay, so my name is Shan Fourie. I'm a mom of 3. I'm a content creator. I'm an ambassador for the Rise Up movement, for the SA Bone Marrow Registry, for the Red Movement. I am currently a Mrs. South Africa finalist for 2022. I work alongside brands like Discovery Bank, The Harvest Table, and many others.
So that's a lot, Shan. So, like, I'm just going to ask you, with, being a mom of 3, how do you balance this?
I do have a tribe, and I literally would not be able to get through this life without them. It is a lot. I am very busy. My schedule is very full, but I continue to tell myself it's quality over quantity with my children, I keep a heart-to-heart relationship with them at all times. I'm always trying to make sure, no matter what time of the day it is, I get that one-on-one time with each of them. But how I get through each day is my tribe. I've got an amazing hands-on husband. He also runs his own business, so he's also very, very busy. But he's always loving, caring, and a backup support for me.
That's beautiful to actually have that type of support.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to be where I am today without him. I do have an au pair. And I've got my 2IC, our Gogo, who lives in with us as well.
Oh, cute, man. I love that. So let's touch base on Mrs. South Africa. Do you mind telling me, where did it all start?
Sure, Megs. I was one of those little girls that used to watch Miss South Africa, and I just always was so blown away by the women that got up on that stage, their courage to just put themselves out there in front of so many people, and what they could then go on to do with their lives. It just always inspired me so much. But I was always a very timid, quiet, young girl, and it was never an option for me. Although I grew up dancing and I came alive on the stage, Miss South Africa was just never in my sight or plan. And then through the years, I've just seen Mrs. South Africa and the Women Empowerment Program that it is, and I just decided this year was my yes year, and it was crazy how it happened.
That's
because
beautiful. I love
yeah,
that.
my hubby and I had been chatting about it over the last few years, and
was it like just a decision you made, like, I'm going to do this, or did you actually work yourself up and build courage to do it?
for me, it was like this is something I need to do. But it came with lots of discussions with my husband, because
Yes, of
he's
course.
more private. He's not, he's not online. He barely goes on his social media. He likes a private life where I feel called to a greater purpose, and I felt like this was the next step for me. So it took conversation. It took me explaining to him why this was on my heart and why I wanted to do this, and getting him to come alongside me in the journey. And then I didn't even know actually this year that the entries were open, and someone sent me the link in the last hour.
In the last
yeah.
hour.
And I literally
That's amazing.
entered online, put all my information together, got my YouTube video up, and I entered. And then I was like, Justin, this is what I've just done.
Oh, word. Was he excited?
He was like, okay, we'll talk when you get home, when I come home.
Oh my goodness, that's nerve-wracking.
Ooh. And then no, he, it has been a journey, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, initially he was very nervous, but just having him involved as much as possible in the process has allowed him to see that this really is me living out my purpose. And through each and every step of the journey.
You can actually see in your eyes how you are just shining. You look gorgeous, you look so happy, and it suits you.
Thank you so much, Megs. I appreciate that. No, it really has been an incredible year with incredible women and just opportunities, and it stretched me, you know, doing TV, radio interviews, press articles. It's just been phenomenal. It's opened so many doors for me, and it's stretched me in my capacity. And I just feel like it's equipping me for more in this world.
That's amazing. So, Shan, you also had a very successful event that took place recently. Do you mind telling me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so one of my targets for our journey now in Mrs. South Africa is to put a fundraiser together for either cancer or SARCA, which is cancer in pets. Cancer is very close to my heart. I've lost 2 family members through cancer and a friend.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Megs. So cancer was a no-brainer for me, and being aligned with the SA Bone Marrow Registry, it was, just as I say, it was, I didn't have to think twice. That was the organization I was going to support. And so in 2 weeks, because I only got one date that could happen and could work for the venue, which the Pencil very kindly hosted us, and put it together, all systems go, and it was a beautiful evening. There were people who came in with a heart to give and to support, and
Your support system.
my support system, and just people who
Good
had heard
hearts.
about it, who wanted to support the cause, and I'm absolutely blown away.
It's beautiful. I saw some pictures and I love it. And after this interview, we're actually going to put in a highlight. So have an eye open for that one. Shan, well done on all the things you've been doing for the community, for outside of the community. You've really outdone yourself. Really well done.
Thank you so much, Megs.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It's always lovely having you here and that big smile on set with me. I love it. Absolutely love it. Shan, if anyone wants to participate in your project, how can they get a hold of you?
Megs, the project of Mrs. South Africa, or projects that are close to my heart?
All of them, please.
So the best thing to do is to follow me on Instagram at shanfree.koza. I'm sharing about the Rise Up movement there. I share about bone marrow drives that are happening. And you can also vote for me by liking my picture on the Mrs. South Africa Instagram page, Facebook page, and SMS votes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Megs.
There you have it. Go vote for Shan. She's amazing. And we'll catch you after the ad break.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome back. This morning we have an interesting panel of guests on our show, and I want to welcome Jackie. Jackie, you with Curio School, is it?
Curio Salt Rock, that's
Yeah,
correct.
the Salt Rock campus.
That's
right?
correct.
And Sitabila, your surname?
Mtiani.
Imtiani. I want to make sure I get that right. And we also got Kalia Fick. Yeah, so we're actually here to talk about a very, very interesting topic, language festival. I've never known of that to be happening in the areas at all. Jackie, you just want to tell us a little bit more about what's happening?
So we want to celebrate the different languages that we as a school at Curio Salt Rock teach in, which namely is English, Afrikaans and Zulu. So our children have the opportunity to take first language, English, Afrikaans or Zulu, and then those same options as a first additional language. So the idea of the language festival is to promote those languages for our own children to learn more about each other and to include the community so they can learn the different languages as well.
Oh, great. Okay. And in terms of the learner involvement, the learners have been involved in the planning of this as well. Just tell us a little bit more about that, Sir Tabila.
Yes, the learners are involved with the planning, where there will be bringing up all the performances, which will be the choir, the marimba, the Zulu cultural dancing, as well as the English and Afrikaans cultural dances as well. And there will be a lot of history talking, where each student will be talking about the history of each and about each language that obviously we'll be celebrating on that day.
Are you excited about this?
I am very excited.
Great, great, great. And Kalia, on your side, you're talking about fundraising for school and looking at all of this. You just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is a festival that we want to do every year, if this one goes well. This year we want to do some fundraising. Our school are starting majorettes, drummies for girls.
Okay,
and
okay.
that's very exciting. So we just want to fundraise this time for those girls that want to take part in it.
That's wonderful. This is such a great initiative to raise funds for your school and make the public and the learners aware of what language differences and how to embrace your own language as well. Now, in terms of the parents' involvement, Jackie, what was their involvement in this and how would they be contributing to the festival?
So we've chatted to some of our parents who have a deep-seated history in their various languages, so they've contributed there, and they have also had an opportunity to then buy a stall on the day of the festival, so either selling food or items, and a lot of them are related to the language history or themselves.
Okay.
And then a lot of our parents have helped to consult on what can be done to celebrate the language and not leave anybody out.
Oh, that's very interesting. That's wonderful. And the parents participate, have they been keen? Are they willing to come on board?
Very much so. And it's something they've been sort of looking for a long
Yes,
time.
yeah.
Our Kiro Salt Rock family are very keen on learning about each other's cultures and languages and each other in order to embrace and make sure that everybody's a part of our school in all areas.
And I see also, Kalia, that your program caters for all age groups. So you want to...
All age
Yeah.
groups. So everybody's welcome. If you've got babies, you are welcome. If you can speak the language, come and enjoy the day with us. It's going to be a festival where we celebrate all the languages that we offer.
Yeah, I can just sense the excitement that's already
And
building
even
up.
for teenagers,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
also things for them to do.
Great.
So everybody will be busy that day.
That's wonderful. So what other items on the program that we have, Jackie, that would be of great interest to people of the community?
So for our little ones,
Yeah.
there's face painting and sweet stores. Okay, moms and dads probably don't want that one. But things for them to play and do. We're going to bring some of our stuff down from the preschool. So there's games and items for the little ones to do. Then for our foundation phase children, so roughly between the ages of 7 and 9,
Okay.
there are different games that they can participate in. The good old-fashioned tombola stall.
Yes.
And then for our teenagers, they're going to participate in a little bit of the dancing. And for our moms and dads, there's a tent that they can go to for refreshments.
Okay, all right, that's great. And Tamira, are you participating in the
Yes,
day? What
I
would you,
will.
What would you be?
I'll be doing the singing,
Okay.
the cultural singing in the Zulu part,
Yeah.
and also the traditional Zulu dance.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
That's such an exciting opportunity for you as well, being as young as you are. Now, in terms of the actual program, I see you've also got a wonderful raffle that's coming up as well, eh? Kalia, you want to...
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah,
There's
so-
a lot of prizes to be won.
Yeah, but we're not sure what that is
We
yet.
can't tell. They
Oh.
need to come
Ah.
to the festival
Okay.
that day to come and see what prizes they can win.
All right, so you've got great surprises. In
Amazing prizes.
All right. Contact details, who do you contact? Because, Jackie, you say we still got stalls available?
Yes, so there's stalls available that people can come along, and it's 250 Rand to have a stall there for the day.
Okay.
And obviously all the electricity and those sorts of things are provided.
Right.
And they can contact our school marketer, Cindy.
Right.
So she is cindy.c1
Yeah.
at cura.co.za, and then the organizer of the festival, Yolandi Tebrug, she's yolandi.t1 at cura.co.za.
All right. And when you've got these stalls, would they need gazebos? What do they...
We do have some gazebos, but ideally I would recommend them bringing their own for a branding purpose for them as well.
Yeah. All right. That's great. So you do have an opportunity for more to participate
Yes,
as
it
well?
would be fantastic if we could have more buy-in from the community itself.
All right. Now tell us again what date, times, and just to close.
So Saturday, 10 September,
Yeah.
and the doors open at 9:30.
And this goes on till about 1 p.m.
if we have to go longer, we will.
We will. Yeah, I was just saying earlier on before we came on that your program is quite extensive, so it's
Yes.
probably going to be much
That's
going.
it. And after COVID time, we're all ready for a good
Oh,
hopscotch.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And what a way to bring in spring. I mean, you know, that's the new month, that's a new season coming on in September.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a great opportunity to welcome spring, and especially after the lockdown and all the restrictions as well.
Yes, for
So
sure.
well done to your team and to the learners for having come up with an exciting opportunity to not only learn about your own language, but to embrace other languages as well, and especially English, Afrikaans, and isiZulu. And that's I'm so proud of as well. I work a lot with youth, and I really appreciate the effort that you're putting in as well too. So much for that. But anything else you'd like to share just before we close?
Will you come and enjoy the day with us?
Yes, I will.
For
I will. I
sure.
definitely will be there. I'd love to be there. I'm definitely not partaking of any stuff in the
In the
beer
tent.
No. But thank you so much for coming over and sharing the information with us. I'm hoping our viewers will support you wholeheartedly on that day there. And there's so much of activities going on, so we must make sure that we're going to be there from start to end. Thank you so much, and all the very best, and all the
Thank you.
success with your festival as well. And I really hope that this is going to become an annual event for your school.
It will. Our
be
belief is
something-
that the community, your family is our family.
Yes.
So we're going to make a big family on the 10th.
Yeah, that's so good to know that education belongs to the community, and it's great that they can participate in this as well too. So well done on that initiative, and as I said, all the very best.
Thank you, Tony.
Sure, you're welcome.
It is unfortunate that all good things do come to an end. Thank you to our amazing sponsors, Lamont Hine, Puza Water, and the Hair Shack for your continued support.